Hey guys, this is Scott with The Average Joe's Armory, the channel for The Average Joe, and today we're going to conclude our three-part mini-series on Remington's first auto-loading shotguns. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Scott. Like I said, today we're going to be taking a look at the Sportsman's 58, which is Remington's first gas-operated shotgun. Now, what's really cool about this is that prior to this gun, all the guns that Remington made that were auto-loading were based on Browning's long recoil action. This one is a gas-operated action, which is kind of special. So we're going to kind of go into some of the history of this gun, talk about the different variations and features, talk about some shootability, and then wrap up the video after that. So let's kind of dig right on in. So this gun, the Sportsman's 58, was designed in 1956 and was produced all the way till 1963. And in that short run, there's about 271,000 guns produced. Now, 271,000 might sound like a lot, but in reality, it's not very many, especially when you compare it to guns like the 1100, which was the successor to this gun, and the 870, which is the pump action Remington shotgun. Part of the reason for that is not only because in 1963 they came out with the 1100, which was this gun's successor, but on top of that, this gun didn't get a lot of attention. Unfortunately, a lot of people kind of talked down about it, and one of the main reasons is because of the manual gas selector. So basically, what's unique about this gun is that it is gas operated, but it relies on the operator to actually adjust the amount of gas. So on the end of the magazine cap here, we actually have a knob, and you can basically go from heavy setting to a light setting. So heavy for heavy loads and light for light loads. In fact, when we shot this gun and tested it out, we shot light loads first on the heavy setting, and we couldn't get it to cycle properly. But then simply by switching this over to the L, which is the light loads, we had no issues with cycling after that. So that was one thing I wanted to note, because a lot of people did talk down about this gun, but I wonder if they were changing that selector. Another thing about this gun to make sure that it's reliable and operable is making sure it's clean. What's different about it is that because it does rely on the gas, you have to make sure that that system and that piston is clean so enough gas can go through to actually cycle the action effectively. So that's some things that are unique about this gun. Now, they came out with 271,000 of them, and they came out basically with 12 gauge, 16 gauge, and 20 gauge variations, and they had barrels all the way from 26 inches to 28 inches to 30 inches. Now, they may have had some 32-inch barrels, but I couldn't really find much about that online. So pretty confident in the 26, 28, and 30-inch. They also came in a bunch of different types of chokes, like modified choke, full choke, and the sort. And in terms of grades of wood, they also did come in different types of grades as well. Now, the one that we have in front of us here has a 30-inch barrel with a vent rib, and it's a full choke. You can also see on the receiver here, we've got some engraving, and that's actually pretty normal on these. A lot of these had more of a scenic pattern, basically like it's a wooded pattern with some wildlife, and that was a really common thing. In fact, you'll see more of them with the engraving than not, whereas with other guns out there, you'll see more of them that don't have any engraving, and it's a little bit more of an upgrade or special to have that engraving. But because this was that first gas-operated shotgun, I think they really wanted to dress it up and give it the best shot that they could for marketability. Now, another thing, as you can see, it uses the same design as like the 1148. So when you take a look at the receiver, we've got a bit of a bend here. The stock, the forend, very, very similar. So ergonomics, for those people that they picked up a Remington and they picked it up and mounted it, it felt very similar to what they were already used to, which also helped. Remington did a really good job with keeping the designs very similar, so shooters that enjoyed the fit could continue using their guns. On top of that, I did mention that they've got different grades, like field grade, skeet grade, tournament grade. So if you see some of those in the wild, they might have some subtle differences, but for the most part, this is what you're going to get. We did take it out, and shot some 5-stand with it and had a really good time with it. What I can tell you is that when you pick it up, it doesn't feel that much different from an 1100, which came out in 1963. The balance, the feel, the weight, everything from mounting it, from your sight picture, it all pretty much looked and felt the same for me personally. And you know, after shooting a couple rounds of it, I really didn't feel that much difference from my 1100 or my 1187. So that was my opinion on it. I think it's a great gun. I know that if you read about them online, some people are knocking them just for the reliability. But in my short experience of playing around with it, I've noticed that as long as you keep the adjuster in the right spot and you keep it clean, it's going to shoot every time and it's going to feel really good. Also, you can pick one of these up for probably half the price as an 1100 or 1187. So if you are looking for that gas-operated, more retro style shotgun, this might be for you, the Sportsman 58. With that said, you know, this is Scott signing off with the Average Joe's Armory, channel for the Average Joe. We are almost to 1,000 subscribers, which is really exciting for us. We started this channel less than a year ago, just with the idea of let's take a look at some Remington shotguns and maybe some other firearms, and we're excited to see where it's going to continue to go. So we appreciate your support. We love getting our hands on the guns, we love doing the research, and we love sharing it with all of you. Please like and subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.